Robert Hansen was born in Estherville, Iowa in 1939. His parents were Danish immigrants. Robert and his father had a very difficult relationship. He was very strict and often made him work long hours at the family-owned bakery. During his childhood, he was often bullied for his stutter and severe acne. In school, he had no close friends. After graduating high school in 1957, he enlisted in the US Army Reserve, where he became a skilled marksman, serving 1 weekend a month and working at the bakery for the rest of the time. In 1960, he fell in love and married a local girl. On December the 7th the same year, he burned down the school bus garage of the local high school, but was caught when a friend turned him in. Robert was given a 3-year sentence, but was paroled after only 20 months. In 1967, after several jail sentences for petty theft, he moved to Anchorage. He was well liked by people who knew him. He became an avid hunter, breaking several hunting records. His records were nullified after his conviction. His weapons of choice were rifle or bow and arrow. The year after his last record, he was convicted of raping a prostitute and attempting to rape a housewife, but only served 6 months in prison. In 1977, he was imprisoned again for stealing a chainsaw and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. In the early 1980s, he reported a burglary on his home, which he had actually staged. With the money he got from the insurance company, he opened up a bakery of his own and established himself as a well-liked family man. In January 1982, he bought himself a Piper Super Club bush plane, even though he had been denied a license due to his medication. He began killing prostitutes around 1980. After paying for their services, he would kidnap and rape them. He would then fly them out to his cabin in the Knik River Valley in his private airplane. He would then release his victim to stalk and kill her with either his hunting knife or his .223 caliber Ruger Mini 14 rifle. On June 13th, 1983, prostitute Cindy Paulson went to the police and identified Hansen as the man who had raped and kidnapped her. Hansen denied the accusations and was not initially considered a serious suspect. Detective Glenn Floth of the Alaskan State Troopers Police contacted the Federal Bureau of Investigation and requested help after a body was found. Roy Hazelwood was brought in to assist with the investigation. Hazelwood theorized that the killer would be an experienced hunter with low self-esteem, have a history of being rejected by women, and would feel compelled to keep souvenirs from his murders. Detective Floth and the FBI secured a search warrant and searched Hansen's house on the 27th October 1983, uncovering jewelry belonging to the victims, newspaper clippings about the murders, and an array of firearms, including the .223 caliber Mini 14 rifle. Hansen was arrested and charged with assault, kidnapping, multiple weapons offenses, theft, and insurance fraud. When ballistic tests returned a match between bullets found at the crime scene and Hansen's rifle, he entered into a plea bargain. He pled guilty to 4 homicides the police knew about and provided details about his other victims in return for serving his sentence in a federal prison, along with no publicity in the press. He confirmed the police's theory of how the women were abducted, adding that he would sometimes let a potential victim go if she convinced him that she wouldn't report him to the police, and indicated that he began killing as early as 1973. He showed investigators 17 grave sites in the Knik River Valley, 12 of which were unknown to the police. 11 remains of a probable 21 victims were exhumed by police and returned to their families. Hansen was sentenced to 461 years in prison. During later questioning, Hansen claimed that it started in 1973 after finishing up one of his rape sentences. He became a serial rapist, picking up prostitutes from Anchorage's Tenderloin district and taking them by his bush plane to the wilderness where he would rape and torture them.